Hey there. So, I've seen a lot of videos that talk about people quitting weed and how great they feel, and I decided to make my own. This one's not going to be too long, but it might help someone realize that they're making the right decision. I smoked weed for about 30 years, from 17 to just a couple months ago. I quit a few different times, maybe for a job or just for other reasons, but they didn't last long. It was never meant to be like a lifelong decision. Oh, let me quit smoking weed for good. This last time that I quit, this was for good. I'm 49 now, and I've gained a little bit of wisdom about life, about how things make me feel, why I do things. And the classic reasons for smoking weed, which are self-medication, dealing with stress, anxiety, your friends do it, it's fun getting high with your friends. Also when you're drinking, a lot of people who like to drink, weed pops up out of the blue, after you've had a few drinks. And it's easier to give in to your inhibitions when you're high and drunk. But I've got 2 months under my belt now. This is my final bout with weed. I'm done doing it. I decided I want to quit smoking weed and drinking and all substances before I turn 50. And I've done it. I think the only thing I do now is coffee. I have a cup, maybe 2 cups of coffee in the morning, and that's it. But if you're thinking about quitting weed, or if you have quit and you're feeling antsy about it and you're having second thoughts, maybe, don't. You're on the right path. You're doing the right thing. The toughest time is probably the first couple weeks. Once you get a month under your belt, it gets easier. After 2 months, you're not even thinking about it anymore. Sure, when I smell it, I don't want to smoke weed, but it hits me. It's in my head. It's in my thoughts for a second or two. But I didn't just quit smoking weed. I've also fairly recently kind of rediscovered my spirituality, and with that, improved my health, both physically and mentally. I've read a couple of self-help books that were recommended to me by someone very close and dear to me. And this person I've always looked up to, so anything that he would suggest, I'm going to listen. And these books changed my life. One of them was Eat That Frog, which deals with procrastination, stuff like that. And the other one is Psycho-Cybernetics, The Search for Self-Respect. These 2 books helped me a great deal by finding things that I could replace my weed smoking with, because it's easy to replace one bad habit with another one. What we want to do is replace that bad habit that we drop with a good habit or multiple good habits. And I definitely believe that once you get a month or 2 under your belt, you can do it. You can quit for as long as you want, the rest of your life. It's obviously something you have to do day by day and every day. But the important thing is replacing that habit with something healthy. Quitting smoking weed, the first thing I noticed was I started to just physically feel better. Then my dreams came back. I used to be a vivid dreamer when I was a kid. I remember when I didn't smoke a whole lot of weed, I would still dream here and there, but the heavier my weed smoking got, my dreams disappeared completely. I thought I just was broken. Like, what's wrong with me? I don't even have dreams anymore. I always loved dreaming. I always enjoyed my dreams. I got a dream journal. I hadn't written in that thing for years, over a decade, because my weed smoking has gotten heavier as I got older, because the idea of self-medicating, it sounds so logical. Oh, I'm gonna self-medicate. Yeah, I'm a doctor. I'm gonna just prescribe myself weed and alcohol and maybe some other drugs. Yeah, bad idea. Having said that, feeling physically better is amazing. Mental clarity was next. I could think better. That took a little while, because I still tend to think like a stoner sometimes, and I forget things. I smoked a lot of weed for those 30 plus years. And from 17 to 49, I mean, you're talking, that's a long time. 3 decades of smoking joints, smoking out of the bowl, out of the bong, rolling blunts, a few edibles here and there, other drugs also, and drinking. But the mental clarity and just being able to think clearly and just motivate myself with my mind, that's priceless. And then, of course, the spiritual side of things. I know that some people might think that weed is like this, kind of like this gateway to the spiritual realm. I'm not going to say it isn't for some people, but for most people it's not. It's a demotivator. It's going to keep you on the couch. It's going to keep you doing things that revolve around getting high, which is eating crappy food, getting the munchies, eating everything in sight, and it's always bad food. A bag of Doritos, sugary drinks, snack cakes. My thing was donuts and chocolate milk, big bowl of cereal. Sometimes I'd mix 2 or 3 different cereals. I'd be all high. Sometimes I'd hit my vape right before I ate. I was already high, but then I was like, oh, I want to get really high before I eat this bowl of cereal. And I was a 24/7 smoker too. I was your famous wake and bake, wake up, hitting the vape pen, smoke throughout the day, bring it to work with me, because it's a vape is indiscreet. I could smoke that in the at my job, on the ride home, after work, right before bed. I'm hitting that thing literally right before I'm crawling under the blankets. And of course, the cycle doesn't end. I spent well over $100 a week on weed. That comes out to like roughly, I mean, I'm not a math whiz, but like maybe 50 grand, $50,000 or more. I mean, I could have bought a house with that 10 times over with all the weed I've smoked in it. That, at least in the last decade, I've smoked nonstop every day. Before that, it was probably when I could, because I had jobs. This was before vaping, where you just couldn't be high at work, But if someone had a joint and I had a chance to sneak off, trust me, I was getting high. I'd find myself doing delivery runs while I was working, going out of my way to go home to get high and then get back in the truck to go do my delivery. It's the demotivator. It's the ultimate demotivator. That's what I call weed. If you want to be motivated, don't smoke weed. And so many people say, oh, I need weed to get motivated, or I need weed to go to sleep. That sounds like an addiction. When you need something that isn't necessary to live. Like you need water. You need healthy food. You need good sleep. You need a healthy body, a healthy mind, and if you can manage it, and if you're this type of person, a healthy spiritual life. But you don't need weed. No one needs drugs. No one even needs alcohol. But I'm here to tell you that you can do it. Keep up the good fight. If you have to cut off some friends and change your lifestyle, do it, because that can be a hindrance. I can't tell you how many times I quit drinking and I would get bad vibes from my drinking friends. And instead of saying good for you, you know, they say misery loves company. My drinking friends would be like, what the fuck? What the hell? Why are you doing that? Shows you who your real friends are sometimes. With weed, people tend to be a little more supportive. As I've gotten older, I never really had a circle of weed friends. I had a couple of people I would let hit my vape pen at work, or, you know, here and there, one of my roommates would give me a nugget and I'd put it in my bowl or something, we'd hit it. But when you're younger, maybe, and you got that circle of friends where you maybe you're hanging out at a bar or a pool hall or something, where getting high, and you might be into, you know, jiu-jitsu, where you're rolling and on the mat, and that's a big part of that culture. It's hard to step away from that when the friends and the people in your life are smoking weed constantly. You know, you don't want to cut off all your friends, but if you have to lose a couple along the way, don't feel bad about it, because this is your life. This isn't their life. Don't be a people pleaser. You got to make yourself happy. You got to make yourself healthy, physically, mentally, spiritually. Don't worry about what others think or do. You really have to focus on your own health and your own life. And I'm proof that you can do it. Now, 2 months, I'm not going to go backwards. At 49, I've always had pretty good willpower, and I've been through enough ups and downs. I've been to jail. I've had some really bad blackout drinking experiences where I've gotten blackout drunk and woke up either getting arrested or other bad things. I've had maybe 2 quote unquote midlife crises, mental breaks where I just completely lost my mind, and I was high throughout. I was always high, always thinking about my next weed purchase, would never want to run out. And if I did run out and I had no money, I would borrow money off my best friend. I was borrowing money off my sister, who I actually drove away. I drove my sister out of my life because of my money borrowing habits. And I never told her what it was for. I was ashamed. Oh, hey sis, can I borrow $40 or $30 so I can get some weed? So you can lose people that you love because of your weed habits, but you can also drop people that you don't need in your life. And one of the friends that you won't miss is weed. You always thought Mary Jane was your buddy and your friend and that girl that never let you down, but I think weed lets you down more than it brings you up. It's so easy when you're high and you're with people laughing and having fun to think that weed is absolutely necessary for that, but it's not. I'm telling you, if you can get into a healthy mindset, physically, mentally, spiritually, you don't need weed. I find myself at times feeling like I'm high when I'm talking about my love for being healthy, or my love of, my personal philosophy, aka my spirituality. I'll go on a little rant with my friends, and then I'll be like, whoa, what just happened? I feel high as hell. But that's what it feels like to really be high on something in a natural way. When you're passionate about something and you're talking about that thing with your friends and your loved ones, that's true passion. And that's that quote unquote high that you get from good and positive things. So I just wanted to share that. This is a new page. It's the 7th house of Aquarius. We talk about all kinds of different things, not just philosophy and religion, but self-help stuff. We also talk about history, and I'm gonna be posting videos. I'm probably gonna try and at least do one long form video per week, and then I'll be uploading shorts throughout the week that people can just watch, get something out of it, something positive. Maybe it'll motivate someone. Some of them are just for kicks, and maybe to get a little chuckle out of life, because we do need to remember to laugh. We can't be serious all the time. We got to remember to laugh, live, laugh, love, and you can do it without weed. Thank you.